Hello everyone. In this lecture, we'll be discussing about GATE 2020 electrical machines solutions. First of all, let's see the weightage. So in GATE 2020, we have three 1 mark questions as well as three 2 marks questions. So in total, it is 9 marks. So now let's start with the first question. So what does the question says? So a single phase 4 kV 200 volts by 100 volts 50 Hz transformer with a laminated CRGO steel. CRGO means cold roll grain oriented steel core, has a rated no load loss of 450 watts. So now they are saying is when the voltage is 160 volts and 40 Hz sinusoidal AC supply, the no load losses are found to be 320 watts. Similarly, when they're asking us to find out the no load losses at 100 volts and 25 Hz. So first of all, what is given in the question? So initially at 200 volts and 50 Hz, they have given us the no load loss. Say let's say W, we call say N L1 equal to 450 watts. So what is the second case we have? We have 160 volts, 40 Hz, where the no load loss NL2 equal to 320 watts. So now they're asking us to find out the same no load loss at 100 volts, 25 Hz. Say let's say it is NL3. So the no load loss is nothing but the iron loss. So first of all, let's see whether the V by F is constant in both the cases. Say this is case 1, case 2, and this is case 3. So in first case, V by F equal to 200 by 50 equal to 4. Similarly, in the second case, we have V by F equal to 160 by 40 equal to 4. So in both the cases, 1 and 2, V by F is constant. So when V by F is constant, we can write iron losses as W iron equal to AF plus BF square. So A and B are constant. So no load loss are nothing but the iron loss. You just substitute the values. For first case, we'll be having 450 equal to A into 50 plus B 50 square. And for the second case, we'll be having 320 equal to A into 40 plus B into 40 square. So let's this be equation 1 and this be equation 2. So if we solve these two, we'll be getting A equal to 4 and B equal to 0.1. So now here no load loss 3 can be given as same expression. We can use AF plus BF square, whereas A equal to 4 and F here is 25, B is 0.1 into F square is 25 square. So finally, if we solve this expression, we'll be getting 162.5 watts. So, okay guys, we'll see the next question then. So next one is a 2 marks question. It is also from transformers. So what this question says. So windings A, B and C have 20 turns each and are wound on the same iron core as shown in the figure. So along with winding X, which has 2 turns. The figure shows the sense. Sense is like where the winding will start. And the figure shows the sense of each of the windings only and does not reflect the exact number of turns. So if windings A, B, and C are supplied with balanced three-phase voltages at 50 H and there is no core saturation, they're asking us to find out the voltage across the winding X. So they're asking us to find out the voltage across this terminal. So if you see here, the sense of B and C is same. See, here the winding is above the core. For B and C, winding goes above the core, whereas for winding A, winding starts from below the core. So the sense of B and C is coils is same, whereas the sense of A is opposite. Suppose if you assume a dot convention, then B and C will be have a positive and A will be having a negative. So now they are asking us to find out the voltage across X. So the voltage across X can be given as the voltage across X, okay, equal to, say, let's say it will be Vx, it is equal to, so here we have a turns ratio, right? So X has 2 turns, uh, and the A, B, C has 20 turns each. So Vx equal to 2 by 20 into VA, that is 230 at angle 0 degrees minus 230 at angle minus 120 degrees minus 230 at angle plus 120 degrees. Because the sense of A, B and C is opposite to that of the A, that's why we are subtracting. So if we solve this expression, we'll be getting around 46 volts. Okay guys, the next question is from DC machines. So what does this question says? It's a 2 marks question. So a 250 volts DC shunt motor has an armature resistance of 0.2 ohms and a field resistance of 100 ohms. So when the motor is operated no load at rated voltage, it is drawing an armature current of 5 amps and running at 1200 rpm. Now when the load is connected to the motor, it is drawing a line current of 50 amps at rated voltage, but with a reduction of 5% reduction in the air gap flux due to armature reaction. And they have given the voltage drop across brushes as 1 volt per brush. Now they're asking us to find out the speed of the motor under this loaded condition. So first of all, we'll see the no load condition. So first of all, we'll see the no load condition. So no load condition, we have an armature current, say IA1 equal to 5 amps and speed N1 equal to 1200 RPM. And brush drop, they have given 1 volt per brush. So total brush drop, so how many will be? Total brush drop equal to 2 volts since we have 2 brushes. Now let's find the back EMF, EB1 equal to, we know that for a motor V minus IA1 RA, armature current into armature resistance minus brush drop. So if it is 250 minus 5 into 0.1 minus 0.2, sorry, minus 2. So this will be 247.5 volts. So this is one case. Now we'll see for the load condition. So in the load condition, they have given armature current IA2 equal to, yeah, actually you have to solve for IA2. If you solve for IA2, we'll be getting 47.5 amps. Why? Because this is a shunt motor, right? So for a shunt motor, the field current will always be constant. So the field current, if you take shunt field resistance is 100 ohms and supply is 250 volts. If you divide by that, we'll be getting shunt field current around 2.5 amps. Say, let's say IFSH is 2.5 amps. In both the cases, it will be same. So whereas in the loaded condition, the motor is draws a total line current of 50 amps that is taken from the supply. So we have to subtract the field current from this supply current. So then we will be getting an armature current of 47.5 amps. And they have given, we have reduced the flux, right? So phi 2 will be 0.9 times of phi 1. Now here also, if you find the back EMF EB2 can be given as V minus IA2 RA minus brush drop. So it will be 250 minus 47.1 into 0.1 minus 2. So it will be 238.5 volts. So we know that E is equal to phi Zn by 60 into P by A, right? So E is proportional to phi n. So EB1 by EB2 equal to phi 1 by phi 2 into N1 by N2. So N2 equal to dash. So if you substitute the values of EB1, EB2, N1 and phi 1 by phi 2, and if we solve further, we will be getting N2 equal to 1220 RPM. Okay guys, we'll go to the next question. This is a 1 mark question. It is from a synchronous machines. So what does the question says? So a 3-phase cylindrical rotor synchronous generator has a synchronous reactance XS and a negligible armature resistance. So the magnitude of per phase terminal voltage is VA and the magnitude of per phase induced EMF is EA. So now they are giving us two statements P and Q. First statement P. So for any 3-phase balanced leading load connected across the terminals of the synchronous generator, VA is always greater than EA. And the second statement is for any 3-phase balanced lagging load connected across the terminals of the synchronous generator, VA is less than EA. So now we have 4 options. So we have to pick one of them. So we'll see the solution for this one. So let's take the statement P. We'll take the statement. So take the statement P. So what does it say? For any 3-phase balanced leading load connected across the terminals of this synchronous generator, they are saying VA is always greater than EA. So is it true or false? So we'll see. So generally for leading loads, VA depends upon the magnitude of the load and load power factor for a given excitation. So the regulation can be either positive, negative, or zero for leading power factor loads. Uh, so the regulation generally is given by regulation equal to E minus V by V. So the statement P is false because for a leading type of load, generally the regulation either can be positive, zero, or negative. So if you see the phasor diagram, suppose let's say this is EA and this is our current IA, which is a leading current. And if you plot VA, so it will be something like this. So this is the synchronous reactance drop. This is a leading power factor load. Suppose the other way is, suppose this is one way, and the other way is say this is EA, and here we have the leading load, say this is IA, then VA can be something like this. So this is reactance drop. So if you see here, VA is greater than EA, here VA is less than here. So we can't say. So the statement P is false. Whereas the statement Q, uh, Generally for lagging power factor loads, the voltage regulation is always positive. So finally, the statement P is false and Q is true. And the option is D. Okay guys, we'll see the next question. It is a 2 marks question from synchronous machines. So what does this question say? So they have given us a figure which shows the per phase open circuit characteristics and short circuit characteristics of a 14 kVA 400 volts 50 H 4 pole 3 phase delta connected alternator driven at 1500 rpm. So the field current IF is measured in amps. So the readings are marked in XY coordinates. So they're asking us to find out the ratio of unsaturated they're asking us to find out the ratio of synchronous impedance unsaturated to synchronous impedance saturated. So from the short circuit characteristics, which is a linear characteristics, so what we have when field current equal to 4 amps, we have short circuit current ISC equal to 20 amps. Since SSC is a linear, if IF is 2 amps, then ISC will be 10 amps. If IF equal to 8 amps, then ISC will be 40 amps because SCC is linear. So let's find out the synchronous impedance unsaturated. ZS unsat can be given as V open circuit voltage by short circuit current. So for unsaturation, we have to consider the linear portion of the OCC, means this portion. So in this portion, we have to consider this point. So the voltage is 210 volts and the corresponding field current is 2 amps. For 2 amps of field current, the short circuit current is 10 amps. So this is 21 ohms. Similarly for ZS saturation, same VOC by ISC, right? So for ZS saturation, we have to consider the non-linear portion. So this point you have to take. So VOC is 400 for a field current of 8 amps. So for 8 amps field current, the short circuit current is 40 amps. So this is 10 ohms. So then now the ratio ZS unsat by ZS sat equal to 21 by 10 equal to 2.1. Okay guys, the final question which is from induction machines. So it is a 1 mark question. So what does this question says? So a 3-phase 50 H 4 pole induction motor runs at no load with a slip of 1%. With full load, the slip increases to 5%. So they're asking us to find out the speed regulation. So what they have given us? First they have given poles equal to 4 and frequency equal to 50 H. Now the synchronous speed ns can be given as 120 F by P. So that is 1500 RPM. Now the no load slip equal to 1%. So then the no load speed can be given as an NL equal to synchronous speed into 1 minus slip no load. So this equal to 1500 into 1 minus 0.01 because it is 1%. So you'll be getting 1485 RPM. Now the full load slip they have given us, full load slip equal to 5%. So see, using the same expression, we can write the speed full load equal to 1425 RPM. So now the speed regulation equal to no load speed NL minus full load speed by full load speed. So that, yeah, if you want it in percentage, you can multiply by 100, you will be getting 4.21 percentage.